We were imagining what a boxer 5 versus 5 would be.
Yeah, I could see Martin Bacoli against Johnny Fisher. Maybe.
I mean, mate, you're not doing it.
What the fuck's going on? Johnny Fisher. I can't get to it. Do you know what? My biggest problem, and I'll be honest with you, and I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the Paying Game. My biggest problem with you, Ben, is you've been too humble.
Yeah.
You've allowed people to throw you around the ring.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you show teeth, and I said that when you came over, you said you lot don't know boxing.
That's right.
You don't know enough, and I said my problem with you is you just let them throw you around.
Because if I have to play a certain game. We've got here now. Martin Bacoli's just beaten fucking Jared Anderson.
Yes.
I run my mouth too much. We're not even getting this opportunity. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a question. We've all seen. Is this your Jerry Maguire moment? You know what I'm saying? When the guy does it, and you'll realise I'm there now. I'm able to punch with these guys.
No. You've not seen anything yet. Honestly, I'm just saying, you guys will take the piss until we're... And to be honest, I have to say, as much as they give me so much shit, sometimes I'll send clips to my friends because I'm creasing. The best one was the Ben Whittaker one. Oh my God. You know, I want 10%. No, then it was
10% of boxing.
And then it was 20%. And then it was 40%. And then I just stood there like, it was so funny. You're a hater. You're reasonable.
Let me tell you something, Ben.
You're bad. You're bad for it.
Explain why. Let me hear your points. Here we go.
Because I'm 30 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Ben's standing on business right now, literally.
Yeah. He's standing. It's fine.
He's standing on business.
It's cool. I love this dynamic.
And the way that you have gone in and criticised our business over and over and over, we built this from scratch.
Yeah.
No help, no fathers, no money, no nothing.
So let's get...
I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying it's a family business for everyone involved in this sport.
Let's get the violins out, because this is a great story.
It's not even violence. This is a success story. I want trumpets.
Hey, listen, Ben, here's my concern. You're swimming with sharks, yeah?
Yeah.
I imagine a 5-on-5, and on paper you got a good group of fighters, and you could possibly do well. When you have to sit across the table from Eddie Hearn or Frank, my concern is you get cooked. I will never forget when Frank said to you, mate, you're not even on emails. And you had to take it.
What did he say? What was the line? What do you imagine him saying in his mind?
Well, look, Frank, you don't understand. And it was just like, bro, we need smoke when you're messing with fire, bro.
But let me tell you, right, how these guys have been running the sport their own way for 40 years.
Yeah.
Are they just going to roll the red carpet and say, and if I start going back and forth, that doesn't work.
But you see,
that doesn't work. And you have to be smarter than that.
I hear you.
And you have to be way smarter than that.
But look at this sport.
It's not just what you see on TV.
Yeah.
That's your business. That's your business.
Okay. Yeah. But you have to understand.
You don't know how we've built the business.
But Ben, this is entertainment.
Yes,
right?
it is.
And when we watch promoters getting cooked by other promoters, we say, yo, are you built to handle Eddie Hearn and Frank? Because like you say, they've dominated. You've got to kick that door down and take your space.
When you say they've dominated, what do you mean? You mean they've dominated for decades or what?
Yeah, you've alluded to the fact they've dominated for so long and you've got to play things a certain way to get in the game. But we're saying you can kick the door down. You don't have to abide by their rules.
You don't
change
need to.
their rules, bro.
Let's talk about this. Give me a second, lads. Give me a second. We're now looking at boxer. My guy Vidal Riley is there. Shout out him. Ben Whittaker. You signed Chris Eubank Jr. You've got Bacoli. I'm feeling the 5v5. Who are you calling out? What promoter are you ready to take on?
I want to go for Matchroom.
Yeah.
I want a 5v5.
This is what. Wait, hold on. I'm going over there.
I want every purse bid scenario in that 5v5 as well.
Okay, Ben, I got one question. Ben, I got to ask you one question. Because the reason why we started to zone in on you in the first place was the purse bids. When you guys weren't showing up to the purse bids, the Richard Riakporte Upper Tire one, the Fabio Wardley Fraser Clark one.
That's the shit.
Bring that, explain that, shine a light, bro.
Okay.
There we go.
Tell me why Fraser Clark should have fought Fabio Wardley in his 6th fight. Tell me why.
because that was the conversation that was spinning around. You guys had a purse split that was cool. It was cool.
Tell me, okay, that would have been a horrendous decision. He took it in his 8th fight, and it was still too early. He got through just on talent, and he beat Fabio Wardley that night. If he'd had 2 extra fights, he'd have dominated him and killed him. It was his first 12-rounder.
Okay.
I've got to look after a fighter. Jared Anderson just took that too early and has just been completely clotheslined.
Yeah. Is it the same story for Apataya and Riakpo?
Riakpo wanted to have the headline moment at Selhurst Park, and that was a big thing for him. Rather than take Apataya on 7 weeks' notice, he got his moment. He didn't take it.
Yeah.
And again, it's my boy.
But you see, the problem is the fighters have taken that on the nose.
Yes.
Fraser Clark looked like he was scared. Riakpo looked like they was scared.
No. Eddie, let me tell you the business.
Let's go.
Hit me.
We put fighters on Sky. They become very well known, more well known than on other whatever.
Okay.
We get drawn into back and forth. We get drawn into purse bids when they don't make sense. Whether it's Adam Azim, whether it's Fraser Clark, whether it's Caroline Dubois, because we're the A side. Did you see Anthony Joshua go into a purse bid in his 10th fight? No, they built him correctly, and that's why he became a superstar. They want to stop superstars developing. That's all it is. Like, you have to understand the game.
I've got to ask you, Ben. You've just made probably the biggest signing so far of your career. Chris Eubank Jr. signs. There's been a lot of talk of Canelo. That seemed to be in discussion, and now it's been shut down. The fear from boxing fans, and not just that, we hear things, right? We're in the know. Yeah. We hear that Chris Eubank Jr. is a nightmare to work with for not just his promoter, but his coaches, and that he's turned down the biggest paydays of his career, and we're still waiting for him to actually maximise his potential. What are you going to do differently that other people haven't done yet with Chris Eubank Jr.?
Fucking good question.
Good question.
Pain game, bro.
But what I would say is, whatever anyone says, he's earned a hell of a lot of money.
Yes.
And he knows what he's doing, and he's a smart businessman. And if I'm honest,
some of that's because of his dad, though. Some of that is because of his dad.
Because his dad blew a lot of money.
Yeah. I just mean the name.
Had to grow up.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, the name. But no, he has become very charismatic, very good in interviews. He builds every fight. He's one of the few fighters that sells pay-per-views off their own name.
Agreed.
That's not just because of his dad.
Agreed.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? He will fight. He will win a world title.
From who?
I believe.
From who?
No, I can't let you do that. I can't let you do that, because when they said, was it a Eubank title that was available, he said, take me out of that. He's been, because one thing for sure I won't do is when there's moments to go up and he doesn't do it. That's what he's not done well.
Because it is about money, right? It is about money for him, in the sense. How much do you think he can get paid for a Eubank fight?
What happens, I get that. But what happens if he's wearing the strap? Him with the world title is beautiful money. You can sell that anywhere. This guy is the kind of guy that'll go to the club wearing his world title. He could drive wearing the world title. So don't tell me that hasn't got value. He should have taken that fight. And I look back, Canelo's now going to fight. Who's he fighting? Belanga. It should be.
We've got two fights. Conor Ben and Canelo. And he turned them both down.
No. He couldn't fight Conor Ben. Conor Ben's not got a license. He couldn't fight Conor Ben. He could have never fought Conor Ben. And you have to respect him for that. Like he wants. That's an easy fight for him for a lot of money. Okay. And to be fair, he showed the sport of a lot of respect and taking his license away and just going and doing that. He could have done that.
But when Canelo comes knocking, you have to know your place. Like, as much as I respect Chris Eubank, he's a motherfucking ant compared to Canelo. But if you put them together, he would be a great dance partner, and it would have elevated him. And I just don't understand the logic with this guy.
Okay, but I believe it will happen, and we'll be sat here, and he'll get twice what they offered for September. Canelo's running out of opponents. Eubank's the biggest star in the UK in that division. If Canelo ever wanted to fight in the UK, that's the obvious fight. But that fight will happen, and he believes it will happen. He believes that fight happens early next year.
There's a worry. The one worry is sometimes you have a moment. You have to strike when that moment comes.
I agree.
Turkey Al Sheikh is down there right now and just saying, I'm going to make the offer for Crawford Canelo. That could change the course of everything.
I agree.
And Chris Eubank in 10 years might be sitting thinking, fucking hell.
I agree.
And you have to advise him better than what he's been. But will he listen to you? Will he listen to you?
If the money, it's a good question and I like it, but if the money isn't right, in comparison, we know what Billy Joe Saunders earned. Okay. We know what John Ryder.
What did they?
We weren't. So when the number doesn't add up,
right,
you can't expect him to just go in and just
take
whatever.
anything.
No, but then
that's a big fight. Canelo Eubank. Whatever anyone says, we know is a massive fight. When Eubank just starts get going, and we have the press conference in the UK, one in the US, it's a huge fight. He'll get paid very well. He's taken a gamble. He plays poker. He's taken a calculator.
Wait, I'm talking about.
I agree. Sometimes you miss your. As a promoter, would I love to be going out September 14th to Las Vegas with my fight against Canelo? That's the pinnacle.
Will he have a fight in the interim then? Because surely he can't sit and wait around for Canelo.
We've already just signed his fight. It'll be announced in the next week or so.
Come on. Okay. But then I need to say this. I need to ask you this. This is the real one. Yeah. Because you're saying what's next in the future. I've seen Devin Haney go to Australia. He took the short because he believed in himself. Unless you're telling me Eubank's taking his fight as a pure cash out, he believes he's only going to get one chance, he's going to lose.
No.
He should take this fight and he knows the next one is when he gets paid. Because it's still Canelo. I don't understand why you're not saying this. Like, as in, this is the smart move.
He's been offered more money for another fight, more than Canelo. Should he be offered more money for another fight? Canelo is the money fight.
I hear you.
I hear that.
So should he take less money than other fights?
Okay, we're going to move on from the Canelo because you have some great other fighters. Like I said, Ben Whittaker, Vidal Riley.
Amazing.
Talk to us a little bit about your promotion.
Who's coming in and taking 50% of my business?
What's the future for boxer right now? How are you feeling?
I actually sent him to his dad, and he loves you two. But he hates you two for what you do to me. I just have you say that.
What's the future of boxer right now? Ben Whittaker, Vidal Riley, all these guys.
No, you two love it that you're getting on the radar, don't you?
We've been on your radar. We've been on the radar, bro.
You know what? Come on, sorry,
no,
Brian.
bro. Look, Vidal's my boy. Love the guy. Ben Whittaker is a hell of a talent.
Yeah.
I just want to know what your vision is.
Vidal
right now.
will fight Isaac Chamberlain next. 100%.
That's a good fight.
That will happen next.
That's a good fight.
Nice.
He broke his rib actually against Mikhail Lawal in that first round, which is why he had to dance for 12 rounds to show actually what a good boxer he is.
He fucking did great in that fight.
People completely underestimate Vidal Riley. I promise you, I believe he wins a world title.
I agree.
He's unreal. Ben Whittaker will headline. He's going to get his headlining now. This is the moment.
That's the best work you've done. So I'm not going to lie, boxer. The work of Ben Whittaker has been lovely to see. He looks like the face of your business.
He's
personally,
he's a star.
He's incredible. Have you still got a good plan for Dan Aziz? That's my boy.
Dan Aziz, I believe, fights Lyndon Arthur next. That's the fight.
Yes. It's a great fight.
Hey, Ben, you're making me happy today. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I might stop.
Dan Aziz is my boy as well. Never had a contract with him. We'll always give him opportunities.
I love him.
He's a quality fighter and he's a traditional fighter and he takes anything.
Okay, I've got to wrap this up because we're going to take a little break. You're going to get a little bit of content from us, but we got to give it up to Ben Shalom. He took the pain game.
You came into the pain game.
Good man. We appreciate it,
bro.
We're going to get you later.
I'll get you
We'll be right back.